A Course in Miracles. Lesson 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe what vision will show you. It is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this of himself. Yet the reason he thinks he is in this world is because he does not believe it. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. That is because you surround yourself with the environment you want, and you want it to protect the image of yourself that you have made. The image is part of this environment. What you see while you believe you are in it is seen through the eyes of the image. This is not vision. Images cannot see. The idea for today presents a very different view of yourself. By establishing your source, it establishes your identity, and it describes you as you must really be in truth. We will use a somewhat different kind of application for today's idea, because the emphasis for today is on the perceiver, rather than on what he perceives. For each of the 3 5-minute practice periods today, begin by repeating today's idea to yourself, and then close your eyes and search your mind for the various kinds of descriptive terms in which you see yourself. Include all the ego-based attributes which you ascribe to yourself, positive or negative, desirable or undesirable, grandiose or debased. All of them are equally unreal, because you do not look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness. In the earlier part of the mind-searching period, you will probably emphasize what you consider to be the more negative aspects of your perception of yourself. Toward the latter part of the exercise period, however, more self-inflating descriptive terms may well cross your mind. Try to recognize that the direction of your fantasies about yourself does not matter. Illusions have no direction in reality. They are merely not true. A suitable, unselected list for applying the idea for today might be as follows. I see myself as imposed on. I see myself as depressed. I see myself as failing. I see myself as endangered. I see myself as helpless. I see myself as victorious. I see myself as losing out. I see myself as charitable. I see myself as virtuous. You should not think of these terms in an abstract way. They will occur to you as various situations, personalities, and events in which you figure cross your mind. Pick up any specific situation that occurs to you, identify the descriptive term or terms you feel are applicable to your reactions to that situation, and use them in applying today's idea. After you have named each one, add, "But my mind is part of God's. I am very holy." During the longer exercise periods, there will probably be intervals in which nothing specific occurs to you. Do not strain to think up specific things to fill the interval, but merely relax and repeat today's idea slowly until something occurs to you. Although nothing that does occur should be omitted from the exercises, nothing should be dug out with effort. Neither force nor discrimination should be used. As often as possible during the day, pick up a specific attribute or attributes you are ascribing to yourself at the time and apply the idea for today to them, adding the idea in the form stated above to each of them. If nothing particular occurs to you, merely repeat the idea to yourself with closed eyes. Lesson 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Here is the core of what this lesson wants to be seen, not agreed with. And it has nothing to do with becoming holy, fixing the image, or upgrading the self-concept. It has everything to do with recognizing why holiness feels unbelievable, while the world feels obvious. Why it is difficult to believe, my mind is part of God's, I am very holy. Because believing it would instantly dissolve the need for a world that proves otherwise. A mind that knows it is part of God has no need for location, defense, hierarchy, comparison, or survival. So the belief, I am in this world, is not neutral. It is a compensation. It is a workaround for the refusal to accept holiness as already true. The world is not created because holiness failed. The world is created because holiness was denied. A mind that truly believed it was part of God would not build a classroom to argue with its teacher. It would rest. You will believe you are part of where you think you are. This is the most quietly devastating line in the lesson. Identity follows location. If the mind believes it is in a body, it will think like a body. If it believes it is in time, it will fear loss. If it believes it is in the world, it will adopt the world's rules. And then it builds an environment to confirm the decision. Not consciously, automatically. Like furniture arranged to match a lifestyle that was already chosen. You surround yourself with the environment you want. This does not mean houses, cities, or people at first. It means meanings, stories, roles, feedback loops. A mind that wants to see itself as vulnerable will choose an environment that requires vigilance. A mind that wants to see itself as special will choose comparison. A mind that wants to see itself as wrong will choose standards it cannot meet. The environment is not accidental. It is curated to protect the image. Why the image must be part of the environment? Because an image cannot survive alone. An image needs mirrors. An image needs contrast. An image needs threats and allies. An image needs a stage. So the image and the world arise together. One props up the other. Remove the image, and the environment collapses into neutrality. Remove the environment, and the image has nothing to reflect itself against. What you see is seen through the eyes of the image. This is not poetic language. It is literal. An image does not perceive truth. It scans for relevance. It filters for danger or advantage. It edits reality to preserve itself. And because images cannot see, they project. Projection is vision turned outward and made false. Projection is the image saying, I will see what keeps me intact. A simple metaphor. Imagine wearing tinted glasses that cannot be removed. The glasses insist they are your eyes. Everything appears colored, distorted, and reactive. Now imagine being told, you are not the glasses. The glasses protest. If I am not your eyes, you will disappear. Vision is not improved glasses. Vision is removing them. Why the emphasis is on the perceiver, not the perceived? Because changing perception without changing the perceiver just rearranges the illusion. A fearful perceiver will find fear even in peace. A guilty perceiver will find fault even in innocence. The lesson is not asking what is seen. It is asking who is doing the seeing, and whether that who is an image or a mind remembering its source. Ego-based attributes explained plainly. Ego-based attributes are any descriptions that require comparison, time, or evaluation. Positive examples: successful, kind, disciplined, spiritual. Negative examples: lazy, broken, unworthy, unlovable. Desirable traits: talented, attractive, wise. Undesirable traits: needy, angry, jealous. Grandiose traits: chosen, superior, more aware than others. Debased traits: a failure, a burden.
less than. Every single one requires a measuring stick. Holiness does not. Why negativity comes first in the mind search? Because guilt is the foundation of the image. The mind checks its wounds before it checks its trophies. The negative traits surface first because they justify the world. Later, self-inflation appears as compensation. Same illusion, different costume.
Illusions have no direction in reality. Direction implies movement toward truth. Illusions do not move. They spin. Up or down does not matter. Pride and shame are the same distance from truth. Neither is closer. Neither is farther. They cancel each other out because neither has a source. Why the lesson says not to think abstractly? Because the ego hides in generalities. Specifics reveal attachment. The lesson is not about labeling traits. It is about catching the moment identity is assigned. This situation made me feel helpless. This conversation made me feel superior. That is where the image shows itself. Why nothing should be dug out with effort? Because effort implies control. Control implies the image is still in charge. Truth does not need excavation. It needs allowance. Strain reinforces the belief that something is hidden. Holiness is not hidden. It is overlooked. A story to stand on. A man inherits a vast estate but believes he is a groundskeeper. He spends his days repairing fences, protecting boundaries, and arguing with trespassers. Someone hands him the deed. He laughs. If this were mine, I wouldn't be doing all this work. Exactly. The work exists because the inheritance is denied. The moment the deed is accepted, the job disappears. Not improved, ended. What this lesson wants you to get. You do not see yourself as you are because you are looking from an image that cannot see. The lesson does not ask you to fix the image. It asks you to question its authority. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. This is not a compliment. It is a correction. And the world you think you are in depends entirely on whether that correction is accepted. When the perceiver changes, nothing needs to be defended. And vision quietly replaces projection.